Welcome to WebUI Training, Order Entry, Course 175, Lines Grid Subtotals function. This training video will demonstrate the lines grid and the subtotal function in the Edit Lines screen in Order Entry. The key fields included are Edit Lines tab, Edit Lines button, Lines Grid, Move dropdown, Show Subtotal Lines, Multi-Line Move, Sublines, Add Comment Subtotal Line Screen, and the Label field. Before starting, you will need to have completed the following courses. The subtotal line function can be used if you have multiple lines and the customer would like to split the lines up into separate parts and to get a price for each of those parts. Once you have entered your lines and put them on the products list, click the Edit Lines button to go to the Edit Lines grid. This order has 7 lines on it, and I'm going to split it 4 lines and 3 lines. The first 4 lines will be the first floor for the customer, and then the second grouping of 3 lines will be for the second floor. The customer would like me to subtotal the first floor out from the second floor. To do this, I'm going to click the box on the far left of the grid header and select all of the lines. Once the lines have been selected, click on the Move dropdown and select Multi-Line. This will take you to the Multi-Line Move screen. Click on the Sublines dropdown and select Create, and you will be taken to the Add Comment Subtotal Line screen. Since I have 7 lines on my order and I know that the first 4 lines will be the subtotal lines, I want to create a subtotal before line 5. In the Line Type dropdown, select Subtotal. The Label field is required. There is a red asterisk next to it. Since the customer has told me that he wants the first 4 lines to be for the first floor, I'm going to label it First Floor. When finished filling in the fields, click Submit, and the Multi-Line Move grid will appear. As you can see, the first 4 lines are showing here, and then the 5th line of this grid is for the first floor with the subtotal. It should equal the total of the first 4 lines. Once you have verified that the subtotal is correct, click Submit, and you'll be taken back to the Order Entry Edit Lines grid. Your first 4 lines are showing with the first floor being the subtotal. If I scroll over, the net amount column will show the subtotal for that line. Now, if I'd like to create a subtotal for the second floor, I'll click All Lines, click the Move dropdown, and select Multi-Line. I'm going to select the lines. In the Sublines dropdown, select Create. I'm going to click Create after line 7. In the Line Type, select Subtotal. Give that grouping a second floor label and click Submit. Now you'll see the second floor will show the subtotal of lines 5, 6, and 7. Once complete, click Submit, and the Edit Line screen will show the first floor of the first 4 items and the second floor of the last 3 items. Scrolling over to the net amount, you can see the first subtotal and the second subtotal. After completing the subtotal and you print an acknowledgement for the customer, the subtotals will show on the acknowledgement. Lines 1, 2, 3, and 4 were subtotaled under First Floor Comment 2705.04. The next lines, line 5, 6, and 7, will show a second floor comment 3306.37. At the top of the Edit Lines grid, there are some action buttons. The Show Comment Lines checkmark will show the comments for the lines that have them. If there were canceled lines on the order, I could click this box and the grid would populate with canceled lines. The Show Subtotal Lines checkbox, if it is checked, it will show the subtotals for the lines that we put in here. If I deselect it, the grid will only show the lines. It will take off the subtotal lines. The Show Comment Lines and the Show Subtotal Lines are always defaulted as checked. Congratulations, you have just completed course number 175, Lines Grid Subtotals. Now it's time to try it out. Go to Employees at Work, click the WebUI Train icon, and follow the instructions to log in. Here is your suggested next course.